Hi guys, my name is Finn and I came here because I've heard that you guys can solve any problems. So my problem is that I don't know which park I'm supposed to go to meet Jake tomorrow. He just randomly gave me some clues to find the park. I would be glad if you guys could help me to figure out the name of the park. So he gave me two screenshots of the moon phases in February and March. Jake also gave me a random table and 8 questions which I think would probably be used to figure out the name of the park. Then he gave me an important information about moon before I actually start solving his problem. The first is the full moon by other names. In January it's wolf moon, February snow moon, March warm moon, April pink moon, May flower moon, June strawberry moon, July buck moon, August sturgeon moon, September harvest moon, October hunter's moon, November beaver moon, December cold moon, blue moons and supermoons. Then we have the volume of the moon, which is about 21.9 billion cubic kilometers. The moon is the Earth's only natural satellite. The moon is synchronous rotation with Earth, which means the same side of the moon is always facing the Earth. The dark side of the moon is a myth, which means that nobody knows what's on the dark side of the moon. The moon has no atmosphere. Lastly, the rise and fall of the tides on the Earth is caused by the moon. For both the northern and southern hemisphere, the moon starts from a new moon, then a waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, and finally becomes a full moon. Then the moon becomes waning gibbous, third quarter, waning crescent, and returns to the new moon. The only difference of the phases of the moon between the hemispheres is the side where the waxing crescent forms. What should we do with the given information? Should we make an equation for the phases of the moon? Well, let me think. Since the questions ask for the volume and the percentage of the volume of the moon, maybe we should make 2 equations. In order to make any equations, we have to use our calculator. Then we have to open a new document and add lists and spreadsheets. Then we have to type out our x-axis, which is days, and y-axis, which is percentage. For the x-axis column, we have to plug in numbers from 1 to 60 because the sum of the number of days in February and March is 60. For the y-axis column, we should plug in the percentage of the volume of the moon according to the picture that Jake has sent to us. Next, we have to select statistics from the menu to calculate the stat calculations. In the stat calculations, we have to choose sinusoidal regression because the phases of the moon repeats like a cosine or a sine graph. We then choose days in the x list and percentage in the y list. Now, we want to visualize this equation. To do this, we have to add data and statistics page. Then we choose days as our x variable and percentage as our y variable. And now we have a visualized graph for our equation. To see the equation, we should select regression from the menu and click show sinusoidal. For the equation for the volume of the moon, we should do the same thing like how we made the equation for the percentage of the volume of the moon. But instead of plugging in the percentage, we should calculate the volume of the moon by multiplying the percentage and 2.19. For example, the volume of the moon on February 1st would be 0.5 times 2.19, which is 1.095. Then we should do the same thing for the rest of the y variables.
A few moments later.
Yay! Now we have the equations for both the volume of the moon and the percentage volume of the moon. Then should we start solving Jake's questions now? I can't wait for it! So the first question is to answer what is the percentage volume of the moon on April 7th? To solve this question, we have to calculate the number of days between February 1st and April 7th. This will be 29 plus 31 plus 7, which is 67. Then we have to use the equation for the percentage of the volume of the moon. Using the equation, substitute x with 67. Then the answer is 96.3. The next question requires us to calculate the volume of the moon on March 5th. To solve this question, we have to calculate the number of days between February 1st and March 5th. This will be 29 plus 5, which is 34. Then we have to use the equation for the volume of the moon. Using the equation, substitute x with 34. Then the answer is 1.757, which rounds up to 1.76. For the next question, we have to calculate when is the snow moon. From the information, we can know that snow moon is another name of full moon in February. By using the screenshot that Jake has sent to us, we can know that full moon is on February 9th. The next question requires us to calculate when is the full moon in April. To solve this question, we can use either the percentage volume of the moon graph or the volume of the moon graph. I'll be using the percentage volume of the moon graph. This time, we have to select maximum points in Analyze Graph section. Since the graph starts from February, the third highest pick would be the days it takes for the moon to form into full moon in April. We get the value of 67.6, which would be approximately 68 days. Subtracting 29 and 31 from 68 will give us 8. Therefore, the full moon will form in April 8th. This question requires us to calculate the volume of the moon on May 2nd. To solve this question, we have to calculate the number of days between February 1st and May 2nd. This will be 29 plus 31 plus 30 plus 2, which is 92. Then we have to use the equation for the volume of the moon. Using the equation, substitute 34 with 92. Then the answer is 1.51. Now we have to calculate the percentage volume of the moon when the phase of the moon is first quarter. From the name of the phase of the moon, we can know that the first quarter will be 25% of its original volume. For the next question, we have to figure out which month is the strawberry moon. From the information, we can know that strawberry moon is another name for the full moon in June. The last question requires us to calculate the volume of the moon after 100 days from February 1st. To calculate this, we simply have to substitute x with 100 in the equation for the volume of the moon. Then we have 1.94 as our answer. The answers for the questions are 96.3, 1.76, 2.9, 8, 1.51, 25, 6, and 1.94. According to the numbers, we can figure out that the name of the park is Franklin Park.
Yay! We finally solved Jake's problem. Thank you so much for helping me out.
Tomorrow.
Jake, I missed you so much.
Ooh!
It's nice to see you in this park.
2 hours later.
Once again, thank you guys for helping me out. Bye bye!